When people see their catalytic converter glowing red, the first reaction is usually panic. And for good reason. It isn't a factory feature. A glowing cherry red converter basically means you have a rolling, hissing emergency under your vehicle, not just a cool party trick. A converter gets red hot only when it's overwhelmed with raw fuel or exhaust heat it wasn't built for. Most people don't know this, but it shouldn't look like you've installed a miniature lightsaber under your car at night. That is not normal. The usual culprit? Unburned fuel making its way into the exhaust. Think about rough idling, engine misfires, faulty spark plugs, or a malfunctioning oxygen sensor. Those all throw off your engine's rhythm and let fuel sneak by unscathed. If you've noticed a sulfur smell, weak acceleration, or your check engine light is nagging you at every start, those are all red flags waving in sync with your glowing converter. Ignore them, and you risk scrambling the catalytic converter beyond repair. We're talking $800 to $2,500 to fix, depending on your car. The scary thing, letting a converter go molten red can lead to some truly unfortunate scenarios, like melting the unit's internal honeycomb or even starting a fire near your undercarriage. Not to scare you, but this is how engine bays become barbecue pits. The smart move here is a straightforward diagnostic. Start by using an OBD-II scanner. Plug it in under your dashboard and check for error codes like P0300, random misfire, or P0420, catalytic system below efficiency. The codes are your roadmap. Once you spot a misfire or fuel issue, go straight to your spark plugs and ignition coils. If they're worn, cracked, or caked in soot, replace them. This step alone solves the issue 60% of the time, by the numbers. Basic tune-ups save thousands long-term. Track down any replacement sensors you need, but don't just buy the cheapest O2 sensor on the internet. Low-quality sensors are notorious for false readings and wasted money. Buy from a reputable source, ideally the manufacturer or a big-box auto parts store. If your engine keeps dumping too much fuel, you might have a leaky fuel injector or a bad fuel pressure regulator. Testing these is less fun but vital. Pro tip: a mechanic's stethoscope lets you pinpoint fuel injectors that are stuck open without taking everything apart. Always finish with a visual exhaust inspection. With the car off and cooled, look for soot marks, melted shields, or obvious damage. If the converter is warped or physically cracked, it's usually too late. Replacement is the safest path. A red-hot converter rarely fixes itself. You have a grace period of maybe 50 to 100 miles before real damage sets in. The faster you act, the more likely you are to avoid a wallet-busting replacement and maybe even a visit by the local fire department. Last tip, drive gently until you solve the root problem. No high revs, no heavy acceleration. If a sensor is acting up, disconnect the battery for 15 minutes and reconnect. It resets the ECM and might clear out minor glitches as a temporary band-aid. Treat the glowing catalytic converter as a giant, glowing warning sign for your whole engine. Ignore it and pay the price, or take action and save yourself money, stress, and maybe even a little personal dignity at the repair shop.